Hey, this is Steve Rode from the Penny Stupid Project. I've been working on the online arbitrage and retail arbitrage sections of our side hustle testing. And I've learned a lot, but I found this video on YouTube that I wanted to share with you. It's from a guy, Steve Rakin. He's got a great YouTube channel. You should see it. I'll link to it below. But listen to what Steve says. Let's share
The reason
this.
why most people fail and end up quitting when it comes to reselling is they give up way too soon before they see success.
I mean, that is so true. The problem with any of these arbitrage things are you've got to understand going in while there's opportunity, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know if this product that you're purchasing at a great deal is on its way out, if there's a replacement one. You just don't have the experience yet, so be prepared.
The truth is, when you start a reselling business on eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, regardless of the platform, it doesn't matter. It's going to take time to just learn the ins and outs of the business. It's going to take time to learn how to source the best items. It's going to take time to learn how to inspect them properly. It's going to take time to learn how to list, learn how to ship.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Every segment of this arbitrage thing, from sourcing right boxes, looking for sales on shipping supplies, trying to decide if you want to use a prep center and have your items sent there before they go to Amazon.
Well, you're gonna have to learn the rules of all these platforms. It takes time. You know, you can pick up a ton of items that are $1 or $2 and sell them for 20, 30 bucks. But if you don't understand sell-through rates, if you don't understand how to take great pictures, create a good listing, if you don't know how to run sales and promoted listings, and you don't understand how the sales rank and the e-score kind of correlates to how long it takes to sell, and you're not patient.
So this is one of the things that Damon and I have talked about on our videos. That Damon is doing things that are quick, like Lyft and rideshare and food delivery and product delivery, things that you get paid for very fast. With arbitrage, it is a long pipeline. You first have to get signed up, understand what's going on. So for example, from my day one, I had an Amazon professional account. I was a seller on Amazon. That's $39 a month. On the journey, I have learned that there are other tools that I need, like inventory management. That's the second one. That's another $50 a month for that software. Oh my God. Since I implemented it, Inventory Lab is what I'm using. It has really opened up the data and helped me to make better decisions and keep track of things, including my mileage if I'm going to pick up something. Now I'm tracking that and I can deduct that on my taxes. The third piece of software that I find is really essential is a repricing software. You can use whatever you want. I looked through a bunch of them. I took a recommendation from the YouTube channel Fields of Profit and using BQool, B-Q-O-O-L, repricing software. It is a little pricey for my level, but I love the automated artificial intelligence repricing, and it's really helping me to win the buy box. But that's another $100 a month. Not only are you having to pay for them, but you're having to learn them at the same time. So I would say that it's taken me about a month to really get comfortable with each of those packages. And that is an additional investment that I had to make. And that doesn't have anything to do with inventory or sending things in. Let's keep going with Steve.
I tell people it really takes a good 3 to 6 months to see success, to build that confidence, because you can watch all the videos in the world of me talking about this business and the million other YouTubers and TikTokers and people on Instagram talking about how great it is. But a lot of people don't share the struggles and the challenges of getting a return and refunds. And
yeah, there's so much that's out of your control. You see a lot of videos on YouTube about people who are doing retail arbitrage, going to stores, buying products on sale, and coming home, sending them into Amazon, and online arbitrage. I have to tell you that with retail arbitrage, I find it very difficult and a total waste of time. If I wanted to occupy my days by just driving around to stores and scanning things with my phone, that's a no-go for me. And now you've got to deal with all the shipping and packing and everything. Steve has learned that lesson well.
Right? When you're an entrepreneur, it's not just a straight line of success. It's all squiggly. It's up and down and good and bad and, huge home run and then disaster. Over time,
That is so true. I mean, I've purchased items and sold them on Amazon. I thought these things were going to be great, and I was just fortunate at the end to squeak out a couple bucks profit. But I've also had items that I've sold and made over $150 profit on each item. You can do the most research that you can, and there are tools to help you do that. Things like Seller Amp, which I love, and Keepa, which is great. But all of these things, you need to make the best decision possible. I would say my number one lesson is don't prejudge what someone else will buy. Let the data tell you what people are buying. And then if I haven't sold an item yet at a loss, but I have sold an item for a $1 profit. And I have a couple of items at Amazon that I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to sell at a small loss just to unload them. They have dropped in price. The competition has dropped in price, and I don't think it's going to be worth it to hold on to them. However, there are things that I do price higher that I hold on to, like used textbooks. There are a couple of different buying cycles during the year, and right now I am buying used textbooks for the buying cycle that happens right after the first of the year. And then when stock dwindles and demand increases, my used textbooks there will be sitting waiting for buyers.
You learn how to ship better, how to list better, how to source better. You build systems to reprice and to make sure that you're following the rules. And there's just so much that me or nobody can tell you until you're in the game. But most people give up way too soon before they actually get this.
Yeah, there's no course that you can take. There's no video that you can watch that will teach you like personal experience, like having to deal with Amazon customer support and sometimes the irrational answers. Now, here's a good example. When I first started, which wasn't all that long ago, but I purchased 10 gaming headsets, and it said I needed to send in an invoice. And I got the gaming headsets and I threw the boxes away, threw the paperwork away that came with it, because I had the electronic purchases, evidence of purchase. And so I sent that into Amazon, and they said, no, we don't accept retail receipts. It has to be an invoice, and it has to meet these standards. Well, I threw away the paperwork that was in the box. And unless I can get the right paperwork from where I bought these from, right now I've got all 10 headsets listed on eBay as a one box, great price, profit from my mistake. But I will never make that a mistake again. I learned my lesson. You will have to learn lessons along the way. The best way to describe this is, so I'm an airplane pilot, and when you're flying a plane, you've got all sorts of different switches that you have to deal with and data coming at you and everything else. And it's only by repetition and experience, that muscle memory, that learning what is important and what's not, that you understand where you need to look, what you need to watch for, what you need to push, what you need to say. And that's online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, summed up very nicely. You've got to understand what is the key thing to look at right now for this product at this time with Amazon or your supplier. There's no course that you're going to take that's going to teach that to you. You're going to have to learn from experience.
Most people give up before their first sale or their first month in sales. Honestly, when I hate to say it, but most people start this business when they're a couple breaths away from death, right? Financial death. You don't want to start this business because you need to, make $1,000 in the next 30 days, because the average person is just going to fail. I hate to say it. The average person, and even myself, it's great to start this business because you want money and you want your freedom, but you need to give yourself a little bit of time.
Such great advice from Steve. So Steve Rakin, can't recommend his YouTube channel enough. Great videos he's got there. And this is such honest, real world, down to earth advice that everyone needs to hear. If you're thinking about getting into arbitrage online retail, with using your last $100 or $500 or something like that, I would say that's no. Don't do that, because, like I said, you got the upfront investments in making mistakes, learning software, purchasing software packages, And then the biggest thing is this whole time issue. How much time it takes to fill the pipeline with products that you need to sell and then get paid for from Amazon. Let me give you an example. If I purchase a product today, I've got to wait for it to get, I'm using a prep center now. I have to wait for it to get to my prep center. So let's call that 2 weeks sometimes, or even longer. Now it gets to the prep center. It's usually turned around in a couple of days. And now it ships to Amazon, which is ground UPS. Sometimes it can be another week. So we're over 3 weeks right now. Now it gets to Amazon and it's got to get in the inventory and get ready for sale. That's another week. So you're looking at sometimes a month, sometimes longer before a product that you sourced and purchased and sent in actually goes live on the Amazon site. If you are not prepared, and then you got to wait for it to sell. And if you're not prepared to wait for that item to sell and then make your little bit of profit, you're not going to make it. I'm sorry. The biggest thing you need is a little money to start and patience and time. That's what you need.
You can make all the profit in the world, but you might not be able to pay yourself because you're having to reinvest all the money back into equipment, supplies, inventory, so on and so forth. So you could be buying things.
Steve is right that when you start to make money, you've got to start reinvesting that back into inventory. Once you've fed the inventory pipeline, and a year from now, you will be cutting down that time because you'll have more products in inventory that are selling while you are sourcing new products. And you will always have something in repetition. Right now, my problem is I don't have enough inventory at Amazon. It's all somewhere in this transition period.
Paying yourself is a whole different story. You always got to, make sure that you're focusing on building that snowball, which is your inventory. The more inventory you have, the more quality inventory, the more possible value you have to offer to the market, the more sales you're going to make. My sales are up over 53% just in the last month, and it's because I've increased my inventory almost 30%. So I'm really, driving to increase the size of my inventory, and my sales are going up. But the thing is, the actual amount of money that I've been bringing in lately is going down because I'm reinvesting so much into my business.
I mean, that is so smart. Now, the number of sales that I've been making is going up, and the bigger sales have been going up too. But if the inventory is selling and it takes a long time to get new inventory in there, you're losing out on sales. The repricing software is great because it keeps me in the buy box.
Eventually, I can take my foot off the pedal and start to enjoy some of the cash flow and pay myself. But right now, I'm just concerned with just building up this snowball. And, when you first start, not only do you have to learn everything, but you're having to build that snowball. You're having to reinvest. And a lot of times people are building up that snowball. And since they don't have a ton of knowledge, they're building a snowball up of items that maybe don't have a high sell-through rate. It's kind of a low market. Maybe the profit margins are a little slow.
Yeah, it gets all exciting to find something that has a high potential profit margin. But then if you're not keeping track of how often does it sell, what's my competition going to be like? Are other people going to find this and jump in and really increase the inventory that's available for this when there's low sales on it? And then I'm not going to make a sale. Again, it's just one of those many things that you have to learn. I'm not trying to discourage you from arbitrage. I'm just saying set correct expectations. When I got into this, I really wasn't that aware of how long this pipeline was. It totally frustrates Damon that it takes me weeks, months really, to what I think get things right and get things on the right track. He wants to earn money right now, and he's looking for those side hustles. He's testing great side hustles that can generate that extra $500, $2,000, $6,000 a month. And we're showing those. But if you want to get into arbitrage, I'm going to tell you what the truth is. And what Steve is telling you here is the truth.
The sales are a little slow. Maybe there's a lot of competition, so it takes a while to sell. They're buying items that are long tail, but the profits are small. That's why I always say you have to weigh out your risk versus reward. If the risk is high, meaning it's maybe like a longer sell-through rate, it's more long tail, you want your profits to be bigger, right? If the item...
That is a cardinal rule. Never forget that one. If it's going to take a long time to sell, make sure you've got big profits on that item.
Flips really, really, really quick all the time, and you know you can sell it multiple times a week. It's okay to take a lower margin, but that's something that comes with experience, right? So yeah, most people give up way too soon, and most people get into this business when their back's against the wall, when honestly, when they're in financial ruin. And I mean, it's okay to get into this business if you're suffering and you really need money quick, but it's tough to build a really strong foundation when you're...
Yeah, if you are in the situation right now where you need money now, and you're looking to generate money now to pay bills next month, online arbitrage, retail arbitrage is not the ticket. No. If you want to do something like that, find something cheap that has a high value, sell it on eBay, get paid today for something like that, or even Facebook Marketplace. But if you're looking to build a solid retirement or future income, and you're willing to feed the pipeline, then arbitrage has some real possibilities. I've been enjoying it. I'm especially enjoying the fact that nothing is sold for a loss yet. So, like I said before, it'll come. I had my first refund yesterday, so that's a joy.
Backs against the wall. Like, some people could do it. Some people have that skill. Some people are fighters and they don't give up, and you know, but it does put a lot of pressure and stress to be successful. So ultimately, my advice would be, if you're thinking about starting this and maybe you're in somewhat decent financial shape, your back's not against the wall, but you can see down the future, like down the road, like, man, I need to get like my finances in line. I got to get some income coming in. Start now, just start small, start to learn the basics, build that foundation, the foundation of understanding the platforms, understanding how to source, the ins and outs and the things you need to learn about listing and pictures and keywords and shipping to Amazon. Now's the time to start, and don't put so much pressure on yourself to make all this money. And you know,
you don't have to think that everything is saturated. It's just different. You'll need to learn the way, but you can get started with arbitrage even today. Sales are being made every single day, every single second, multiple times a second, in fact.
Just take things slow. This is a long game, and once you learn the skill of how to buy low, sell high, to identify value, to be able to learn about how to go to places like garage sales and auctions and all these different places and be able to find value and flip it for value and offer, you know, really a win-win situation to your end buyer, I'm telling you, you'll never be broke ever again. So don't give up, stay strong, much love, and I'll see you in the next one.
So Steve is right. I keep saying this, and this is why I wanted to share this video with you, because everything that Steve said is right on target. You can tell that he's got experience. I would label him as a pro in this. I really like his advice. In fact, I've probably watched this video 15 times because everything in it is just perfect. It's what you need to hear. Be ready for the long haul. Go slow. Get the right tools so that you can get data to make good decisions. Let me give you an example. How would I ever know if a used textbook was a good buy or not unless I had data to show me sales and see when was the right time to buy it and what was the right price? If it's a slow period for a textbook, I could price that at a low number, a low sales price that would be way too little in a high demand period. So there are things if you're investigating arbitrage, you've heard about tools like Keepa. And Keepa can show you the sales rank changes and when a product is selling and when it's not and how often it sells. If you didn't have that little piece of data on one purchase, it's a crapshoot. If you're a gambler, that's what you do. But if you want to try to succeed, have the best chance of success, then you've got to do your homework, get the right tools, have the right expectations, and you can start today. Hey, this is Steve Rode, your Penny Stupid Project guy. I'm here giving you tips on online arbitrage. If you haven't done it yet, please like this video. It really helps us. It helps to let YouTube know that the video was okay. You liked it. You found something good out of it. If you haven't subscribed yet, hey, you're missing out. It's free, and all you do is get notified when we have new videos come out. If you want to get super notified and be alerted right when a new video posts, be sure to hit that little bell, the notification bell. And if you have any questions or comments, you think the video was stupid, I don't know what I'm talking about, you think the video was great, you have some experience to share, put it in the comments section below. Till next time, see ya.